Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Joshi, uh, Dr. Pani, Dr. Tuteja, Dr. Siddharth, Dr. Charu, Dr. Alam, Dr. Pragati, and other colleagues in the audience and in the online mode. Thank you very much for inviting me. I am really touched when Dr. Joshi remembered a very long, association uh, decade ago, decades rather ago, when we had discussion and we worked together on the dengue fever when it was really a menace in Delhi. I could also recall, or rather, vivid memories. Probably, uh, uh, I don't remember that which project or in which context, but I could remember some of your faculty members. Either I have seen or them personally, or I have seen their projects during the DBT reviews and other things. Dr. Charu, probably I remember, Dr. Bajpayee. Some of these projects I have seen, and I know long back, about 30 years back, when for the first time the your college was very new, and I can say with great confidence, and as your vice chancellor also said that the college is buildings are humble, but your faculty is really very good. So I know that in the early 90s itself, your faculty started working in the various research projects, and I know then some of the DST and DBT projects in those days in 90s itself. So I know that we were not, many of us were not knowing that where is this college located, but and later on slowly we came to know with your work. So the faculty worked really very hard, and this was quite evident from the report Dr. Kuteja presented. So I am really very happy that you invited, and I am really very privileged that I could come to know a little more what I was knowing earlier through this interaction and through the presentation Dr. Kuteja made during the meeting as a part of the presentation of the annual report. I am really very happy that I am able to share some of the things that we know that these days we all are struggling with the unprecedented epidemic, because none of us living person knows that similar kind of epidemic we have ever experienced. So those obviously the Spanish flu, we all know that was about more than 100 years back in 1918. So after that, this is probably the first and unique epidemic we all are experiencing. And I was seeing from your talks and the annual report that many of you, and particularly my congratulations to students, that many of students and your young faculty, they are working in the field of COVID as well. Because I always believe that COVID is not a only a health issue, but also a social issue. And therefore, whenever I get opportunity, whether it is All India Radio or television or anywhere else, I always encourage that social scientists, they should also participate, and they should also work with the hand to hand with the doctors and all the frontline workers. So it is a has to be taken together as every citizen of the country, for that matter, the global, every citizen of the globe has to work together, because this is such a viral disease. It doesn't require only treatment, but also the prevention is more important than the treatment, because we all know that there is no specific treatment. The best way, I always say that best way is to prevent. And somehow we see that, we saw that, when the first wave was almost very lower down in the last months of 2020, people started, became rather very complacent, and they started everything as if there was no corona. And then we all know that, in December, January, February, everybody, started thinking that corona is gone, and some of the media. So some of you are in the social sphere also. We should be careful that, sometimes the media is also damages Sometimes it gives very constructive news and the inputs, but also many times it also spoils you. So some of the, I will not, obviously we shouldn't name and I will not name, but some of the television channels, they started kicking like a wall. The corona, that it is already gone, we have kicked it off. And then we all know that the second wave, which really we have, and I was just hearing that you have also lost your very young dynamic faculty. And many of us, in fact, indeed, there is no one who has not experienced, whether it is a family or friend or relatives or dear ones. So every one of us is affected directly or indirectly. We as a doctors, we are directly involved, but I think everybody in the society is impacted with the epidemic. There are many issues because it is not only health or lives we are losing, but also we are losing the economy. We are also losing the social values, and we are also psychologically becoming weakened. When I am saying that we are losing values, we know that many of us might have seen in the various news channels that what kind of family values we used to have, and in the final the rights we used to have the go to the body and to do the all kind of our standard and the social customs. But these days, all the rights they were were done away, and many of the family members, they left the bodies unattended, and then many a times the hospitals, they had to take these bodies as unattended and unknown, and then we had to face this kind of issues. Many brothers, then many mothers, then even the spouses, they were left unattended. So this is also showing, and I am sure that many a times we feel that even though these issues were noted, and there was lot of sycophants of various kinds, they took it in various directions, but the bottom line remains that it was the people were very much scared that even the dead body can spread the infection, and therefore we had to take AIIMS Bhopal was the only institute in the whole country. We started working, and with the knowledge of my clinical microbiology, I was very much touched with this kind of episodes, and we took up, my faculty took up this study, and then we verified that dead bodies, they are not infectious. And principally also I was convinced, but then again we had to prove further with the scientific evidence that dead bodies, they are not infectious if all precautions which are already in place, they are taken care. And I think so that was a landmark study we carried out, and this shows that how much media and the what we these days call it as a WhatsApp university, because these days we know that as Dr. Krija very rightly said, that the online and the social media, they have become the norm of the teaching, learning, and also spreading the false messages. So what we call infodemics. So that is unfortunate, but definitely these things, they also impacted that people probably they realized later on when some of these studies like ours in Germany and UK, they also published similar kind of observations that this is not infectious, the body is not infectious, and because the virus cannot multiply on the dead cells. So after that, many of the people, they are realizing that what we did, probably we left our mother or father or son or brother, that probably that has impacted them. And therefore, these days we are seeing that, the Ministry of Health and Director General also they have established that post-COVID clinics. And everybody is realizing, whole country, or rather whole world is realizing that psychological disorders these days in people, they are highly increasing. The reason is that many of, as I said, that we could not do the last rites, and we could not attend, we could not see, we could not. Some of them they wanted to come. There were many in the foreign countries. There were travel restrictions, even if you are within the India. So many of these dead bodies or the family members, they could not come together and they couldn't see their faces last time. So these all things, we are having psychological abnormalities, we are having high blood pressure, we are also having the higher level of the blood sugar because of the indiscriminate use of the prednisolone, the Ayurvedic medicines, and all kind of things. And I think why I am saying to you, even though you are not in the direct clinical care or medical care, but why I am saying that in all the students and youngsters, those who are listening here, everybody has their role. And therefore, the most important role is that, trust the correct information. Don't go to the fake news these days. Many people, they are, spreading fake news, whether, it is vaccine or anything else. Many people, they keep on saying that everybody after Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, they will die after 2 years, or they will become infertile, or they will become this and that. So all these misinformations are there. And therefore, I would like to, through this medium, to convey to your youngsters and students that please don't go to the fake news, verify these, and read only the genuine information and spread the good message in the society. And good message of today is that Corona is still here. It can come again, third wave or fourth wave. Iran, we know that we are having fifth wave. America is having third wave. Many countries, they are having fourth time or fifth time. And India is also almost on the verge of getting the third wave. We all know that in Kerala and northeast states, the Corona is not going down. And even in India as a whole, we see that, for last 10 days or so, it is not coming down to 40,000 or 30,000. So it is continuously remaining in the plateau stage, and it can increase anytime. That is the most worrisome. And because even if the adults are, most of our adults are vaccinated, but children are not vaccinated, so they are really at the higher risk. So therefore, it becomes duty of each and everyone, whether you are a doctor or not. It is not necessary. But as a citizen, it is everybody's duty that, you should try to follow the all COVID appropriate behaviors. I always believe that, whether it is a alpha, beta, gamma, delta, or any other variant or new variant, but the mask and physical distancing and hand hygiene, these three, they will prevent any kind of, or any strain or any variant, irrespective of any mutation. So therefore, these three things are most crucial. And I would again urge that all of you to please adopt and practice the COVID appropriate behavior. And if you are not vaccinated or vaccinated, it does not matter, because even if you are vaccinated, about 30% vaccinees, they can also get infected, but they will not have a severe disease, but they can transmit to others. And therefore, it is your duty as a citizen of the country to stop the transmission, even if you don't get sick or your death is prevented by vaccination. And I think, therefore, all colleges, including ANDC, which is doing otherwise wonderfully well, you are ranking very high. I was seeing because I have been the NAC, inspector also, so I know that 3.31 is very high ranking. So congratulations for that. And with that, I would again like to say and re-emphasize that all colleges, whether it is a arts, science, or any college, every youth has duty to spread the correct information and encourage the appropriate behavior so that the Corona wave doesn't come again. Thank you very much.